fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo and that gold. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city, you wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
Good morning, everybody. Sam Torres here from the 440 Sports Show, Ashtabula's first and only morning sports talk show. We had a lot going on yesterday, a lot going on in the county, a lot going on on the network yesterday as well. Just some great baseball, some great softball. I'm very, very thankful that we could get some I got to call my first softball game yesterday. Obviously, on Tuesday, Monday, I got to call my first baseball game. But yesterday was a beautiful game, beautiful day for some softball play, and we got to watch St. John take on Lakeside. So 2 county teams taking on each other, which was great. A lot of teams taking each other on yesterday. I mean, a lot of scores, a lot of finals. It's nice that it feels like the season is starting to get going up here in Ashtabula as almost every team, I believe, in the county played yesterday. We're going to be going through that here on the show today. We're going to be talking about some of the scoreboards. We're going to be talking about some of the scores from around the area as far as YSN as well, because there was 11 games streamed yesterday, and even more than that on the scoreboard. You're going to want to make sure that you head over to that scoreboard, because it really is a great tool. You're going to find a ton of information on there, whether it is the scores, the stories behind it. If you want to check out the standings, they're available right there as well. YSN Live is really a one-stop shop. It's a great place for local sports, particularly because they're going to, we're hyper focused on our local teams. And that's one of the greatest things about YSN. It's one of the reasons why I'm so proud to be a part of this company. But let's bring that over right now. As you can see, and that's the other thing too, there's going to be all kinds of stories right on here, behind the games, as these games end, and these broadcasters want to say a little bit about what they saw and what kind of the game was. But let's go over here to, again, that's the live game. Those are the live games from yesterday. I mean, come on, look at that list. So much right here on YSN, just a ton. Salem versus Struthers, there's tennis on there. Lakeside St. John, obviously I called. Alliance and Salem baseball, Austintown Boardman baseball and softball. You had Canfield taking on Archbishop Hoban. Talk about a meeting of the Titans there. Just so much college baseball going on right there, with Pitt going against YSU. A lot of stuff going on right here at YSN. Make sure you head over here. If you ever want to check out some baseball, you really have a chance. I know myself personally, after the game yesterday, me and my daughter got home from the game, and we sat down and we watched a couple of the softball games that were on the network. One of which was Austintown Fitch. We got a chance to check out that pitcher, because they got a really phenomenal pitcher down there. We got to sit down and we got to talk softball. We got to talk, about What is she good at? What does she need to improve on? Those sort of things. It's another tool that this offers. You can take a look at what you guys are doing. You can compare it to other teams, see what they're doing that makes sense, what stuff that you're doing that makes sense. It's awesome. I really cannot say enough how cool I think this whole experience and this opportunity is for everybody. And here in Ashtabula County, 7 out of 8 teams are taking advantage of this opportunity for increased experience. Right now, we only have one school that is not utilizing this free service. It's the other biggest thing I think about this that people kind of assume is that there's some kind of a cost associated with it. There's none. This costs zero money to the school. During the regular season, when we don't have to pay the OHSAA, it costs zero money for you. We're going to be providing live coverage right here so you can check it out during the game. So many times I've been told at these games, hey, where are you from? Where can I find this? It's at www.ysnlive.com. I've got aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, cousins all over the place. They want to be able to check us out. And that's another purpose that this serves. It serves the purpose of providing that kind of connection. They can be a part of these high school athletes' high school career. Unfortunately, that's not happening in Geneva right now. My fingers are crossed that is going to change sooner than later. I can tell you that the Geneva boys baseball team is having a phenomenal year, and I think that it would be nothing less than criminal to not have that documented and not give those athletes a chance to get the proper shine, whether it's starting 9 on Sunday with the Diamond Roundup, whether it's Big Dogs of the Valley, the big award that gets voted on every week, whether it's, just basically not being covered because we can't cover them. I hope that changes. If you are a parent or a student at Geneva, talk to your parents, talk to your teachers, to talk to administration and see if we can't get something to work out here so we can get the Eagles at YSN home where they belong. That's my spot on that. I say that because I've been contacted a couple times by a couple different people, students and coaches alike, students and parents alike, wondering why we're not really covering Geneva, why we haven't covered anything at home for them, why we, they're not getting the previews, they're not being updated on stats, those sort of things. There's all kinds of events that are coming up as well that I think would be great, that are going to be great, whether it's combine or volleyball and stuff like that. And until we can get Geneva to commit to us, until we can get them to sign with us, we can't get them included in these YSN events. And it breaks my heart because there are great athletes, there are great families, and Geneva is full of great people. And I hope that, sooner than later, we can get those Geneva Eagles right here on YSN. But I've done everything I can do. You got to reach out. You got to talk to, the powers that be and let them know, hey, we want our YSN. Back in the day when MTV first started, it was, I want my MTV. Now that changes over to, I want my YSN. Let's get YSN all over the county where it belongs. All right, so let's go over to the scoreboards. We're going to talk about that here just a little bit. This YSN scoreboard, again, it's going to have a ton. Now, it's not going to have every single game. I can tell you that much. We're looking on trying to get some more games included on here, but there is going to be a lot of them on there. So let's just make our way down the list today. And we're going to start off with those Lakeside Dragons, baby. They get their first win of the year behind a big performance of Alex DeSalvatore. He goes out there, he pitches for 5.1 innings. He goes let me make sure my numbers are right. Yeah, he's going to go 2 for 2 with an RBI in this game, and the margins are razor thin here, as you can see, 6-5. Lakeside had just fallen to Orange the day before on Monday, but Lakeside able to get that win at Orange, which is even more impressive as Lakeside has trouble getting a win at home, but they split the series, and these guys are CVC opponents as well. So a little bit of a double dose. Orange, another one of our YSN family members, and we, the Lions are going to be right here on the network as well. East Palestine gonna get a win 5-0 over Lisbon. Girard gonna fall to Lakeview Cortland 12-6, and we talked about Lakeview Cortland. Lakeview Cortland has already beat now Girard and South Range, and South Range is a very, very good baseball team. So Lakeview Cortland, I said last week on the Diamond Roundup that my antenna has gone kind of up on those guys. They are fully on my radar now. This Lakeview Cortland team looks to be a team that could cause some real noise, some real ruckus. I know that they were the ones that were able to beat that 17-win Edgewood team in the playoffs last year. Edgewood was 100% favored in that game. Cortland said, "We don't need no stinking favors. We're going to take the dub." And it looks like they're picking up right where they left off from last year. McDonald and Sebring is not reported yet. Poland getting a win over Struthers 13-1. And South Range, we just talked about these guys as well. 11-1 win over Niles. LeBray going to win 8-3 over Champion. Crestview laying the hammer down 16-0 over Liberty. Jackson Milton going to win 11-8 over Western Reserve. Alliance is going to beat Salem 7-1. And here's the one, the Holy War, guys. The Holy War, or no, that is not the Holy War. I'm sorry. Canfield and Ursuline 5-2. The Holy War is happening tonight. Ursuline is going to be playing Mooney. But that Canfield and Ursuline game is a big one. So Ursuline going to win this round. Ursuline got another tough matchup ahead of them tonight as they're going to be taking on Cardinal Mooney there at Scene Park. Springfield with an offensive explosion over Lowellville, 20-4. Mineral Ridge going to win 10-6 over Waterloo. Jefferson and Hubbard. Jefferson gets their first dub of the year as well by beating Hubbard 8-3. Michael McGraw going 2 for 4 in this one with 3 RBIs. So a great start for Jefferson to not only get their first win, but their first win within the conference. I do think that NE8 conference is going to be heavily competed for this year. I don't think that. I think every game is going to matter, but I think no team is ever going to be out of it right now. I think there's going to be a lot of teams. I don't think the winner of the conference is going to be undefeated. I think that, halfway through this baseball year, we're still going to be talking about how close it is up there at the top. And it could come down to those final couple games, who's winning, who's losing. And that's how the NE8 is going to be decided this year. Jefferson, I've talked about, ad nauseum. This is their final year in the NE8, as next year they're moving over into the CVC, where they're going to be playing teams like Lakeside Geneva, Conneaut Madison, and Lakeside Geneva, Conneaut Madison, Edgewood. And Edgewood. So they're going to be in a 6-team conference over there. All of those teams are going to be within 30 miles of those guys. And it's going to be a tight conference right within the CVC. I believe they're going to call it the CVC Lake. But before Jefferson can get into that, they want to leave the NE8 with something to remember them by. And they've done it so far in each season. Obviously in football, winning going all the way to the semifinals of the state championship. In basketball, winning a boys conference title. And now in baseball and softball, they're going to have one final chance to kind of leave their mark on the NE8. Louisville winning a tight one over Green. 1-0. And then Austintown Fitch falling to Boardman. And Boardman has really been getting the job done on the baseball field this year as well. So 7-5, the final score in that one. Just a couple other baseball scores here. Grand Valley going to fall to Kirtland 6-1. Conneaut going to fall to Madison 12-1. And then St. John is going to fall to Geneva 11-1. A lot of offense in there for the Eagles on that one. Again, we got to get them on the network, folks. We got to get them. We got to give these Geneva boys and girls the shine they deserve. But that can only help with the power of and help from people like you. Let's head on over to the softball diamond. Austintown Fitch is going to win 6-0 over Boardman. Liberty going to fall to Crestview 12-0. McDonald and Sebring unreported as of right now. Lowell, though, going to get revenge on the softball side there. 4-2 win over Springfield. And Poland, how about this one? 13-0 win over Struthers. Warren G. Harding is going to fall to Howland 16-1. And the Jefferson girls are going to fall to Hubbard 4-8. So, splitting the day there of baseball and softball as Hubbard gets the W in softball, but the boys get Jefferson gets the W in baseball. Lakeview Cortland going to go 13-2 in this softball matchup over Girard. Western Reserve going to win 5-2 over Jackson Milton. 4-9 is the final in that Mineral Ridge Waterloo game. Conneaut going to fall to PV. And Bailey Alderman is going to be the player of the game in this one for Pymatuning Valley. Bailey Alderman goes 11 strikeouts, 3 for 3 with an RBI. What a day, not only in the circle, but in the batter's box for Bailey Alderman. PV Lakers getting some stuff together. It's been a little bit of a slower start for Conneaut, but, Coach Zapp, I'm sure she's going to have those girls ready to go. That's a beautiful thing about baseball. It's a long season, and I really like one of the things when I did the interview with Coach Jeff Barger over there at Edgewood. He talked about 1-0. 1-0. It doesn't matter what you did the day before; you still got a chance to win today. So that's kind of what Conneaut's got to be right now. They got to go take that 1-0 mentality and run with that. But PV going out there getting the job done, particularly Bailey Alderman. Congratulations to that young lady. Champion going to go 19-1 win over LeBray, and another absolute slammer hammer is going to be Columbiana 24-0 over Lisbon, and we're followed with another hammer of Garrettsville 20-1 win over Newton Falls, and yet another absolute slobber knocker as South Range is going to win 21-0 over Niles. And then Canfield and Hoban are going to give us a really tight game in this one. 5-2 as the final there. Again, over that at Scene Park tonight, if you can't make it down there, it's going to be the Ursuline taking on Cardinal Mooney for the Holy War, assuming that weather is going to hold up. So that's one of those games that you're really going to want to, kind of tune into and pay attention to. That's a big deal. They're two really big programs with great athletes, and both of those programs are going to give a quality game. I can't wait to watch it. It's a rivalry. I said on Sunday, it's Easter week, so we may as well have ourselves a holy war, and that's exactly what we're getting down there, Ursuline and Mooney. Make sure you tune into that. We're going to go to a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to talk about a couple more softball games, and we're going to talk about some the games that I'm planning to go to today, weather pending, that sort of deal. You know how that goes up here. The weather can change in just a second. So when we come back, we'll be talking about that, but I'm going to go to our first break. I do want to remind you guys that the 440 Sports Show, Ashtabula's only morning sports talk show, is brought to you by absolutely nobody. We're still looking for sponsors. We're still looking for advertisers. This is a great opportunity for anybody who wants to get their product or their business out there. 68 schools, 68 different communities, 68 demographics, from all the way down from the Mahoning Valley River to Lake Erie. You're catching everybody in between. It's Northeastern Ohio, legitimately catching everybody in there. It's a great way to get your product out there, your business, whatever you want to be known. But also, to me, what I believe is the most important, it's a great way to help students out because of sponsors and advertisers. And we have a ton over here on YSN, and we are so thankful for them. But it's because of their sponsorship, their generosity, that we are able to provide this free coverage for the athletes. Free coverage for the athletes. That's right. Free. Every day we're covering games. Every day we're putting out stories. And even when what you're not seeing is the stuff that's going on behind. We're able to do this all for free because of the generosity of advertisers and sponsors. So if you, I'm trying to get one of our Ashtabula folks involved here. If you have a business that's interested in becoming an advertiser, becoming a sponsor, I'm going to wait till my internet. There we go. Becoming an advertiser, becoming a sponsor, please contact me on any of my socials. You can contact YSN at www.ysnlive.com under advertisement. It's a great way to give back. And that's my pitch. So we're going to go to our friends from Toyota of Warren first. We'll be back here in about 2.5.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Hi, I want to tell you about my Trish Yearwood home collection available at Sheely's Furniture. With 2 locations serving Ohio and Pennsylvania, Sheely's is one of the country's top sellers of my home collection. And the best part? At Sheely's, you never have to wait for a sale. They offer everyday low pricing as well as a price match guarantee, so you can shop the Trish Yearwood home collection with confidence. Come see my collection with something to offer for every room in your home and get it all with free local delivery, only at Sheely's Furniture.
All right, back after that break. Again, just another reminder. I would love nothing more than to get some Ashtabula businesses right here on YSN and represent the lakefront here in front of all of these different schools, all of these different districts, to help kind of push our kids along. I want to jump over to a comment real quick. Kelly Summers. She could hear the massive cheers coming from the softball field for Bailey Alderman while she was taking pictures over at the track meet. Kelly Summers, I believe it because, one of the things I absolutely love about that PV area, Andover, Ohio, that culture is the support, and they show up and they're excited about these events. And I'll tell you what, I've never been to a quiet PV game, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, anything. People show up. They're really involved. The support's there. It's really awesome. And Kelly Summers does just a phenomenal job of getting pictures and making sure all of these things are documented in absolutely beautiful fashion. Make sure you go check her out. She's got a real, she's got the, I believe they call it the photographer's eye. She catches some great shots and does great work. Thanks, Kelly, for your input here. I want to talk a little bit about Edgewood as they get a huge win over Perry last night. And that win is going to be partially fueled by Sophia Paulilio, who hits a 3-run bomb over Perry in their conference win over over Perry. Sorry about that. I don't know why my camera does that on occasion. But she hits a 3-run bomb on Perry last night, 9-7 win. So they're getting their first CVC win of the year. Those girls are looking sharp. I don't believe it was a walk-off. I do know it was a 3-run shot, but it's the one that put them in the lead. And they're being coached over by a name that, if it's not familiar, it should be familiar to you right here on the network. The man, the myth, the legend, Randy Venzel, getting the job done over there, pulling double duty after an awesome year of basketball. You know, he trades in his sneakers for a pair of cleats. He's over there coaching on the softball side, and those girls got the job done. Perry is very good in everything. Perry is good in absolutely everything. So, you know, one of the things I used to joke about is they had kind of like a mysticism about them in Ashtabula. Nobody could get the wins over the big bad Perry Pirates, but that's starting to get lifted away as teams like Edgewood have gotten wins over them, and that CVC is starting to look a lot more attainable on that girls' side. They're very good. They're very good, and Coach Randy Venzel is a very good coach. He's able, one of the things about him, he's just able to get the most out of his athletes. You know what I mean? And I admire him very much for so many things, not just for his coaching, but obviously he's a great guy as well. It's good to see the success happening over there. Now let's talk about our final game that we're going to talk about is going to be St. John as they get their win over the Lakeside Dragons. Now, this St. John program we talked about already is young, and they've got a lot of youth on the program, 4 freshmen that are going to be playing significant time for the Heralds this year. One of those freshmen is last night's player of the game, Izzy Holler. She goes out there and for her first game in high school softball gets a modest stat line of 12 strikeouts, 2 for 3 at the plate with a home run. It wasn't inside the park home run, but guess what? It still counts as a home run. And I want to give you, as you could hear the excitement in my voice on the call right here.
Dragons make that quick fix. And that first one left alone upstairs for ball 1. One-oh count here in the top of the jumps on that one, puts it into the outfield. It's going to drop down for at least a single. She's going to try and leg out a double. She may try to continue as she does, looking around for a triple. She's going to try and go all the way home inside the Parker, and that's going to do it for the first score of the game. Isabel Holler using all of that stride to score first here in this one. Big time hit.
Yeah, Izzy Holler goes out there using that stride, using that speed, and, she hits a shot, right along the right field line, and it rolls just before the fence. Okay, and she's able to, the biggest thing you're going to see on there is after she makes that hit, at no point does she look to the outfield. She's got her head down, boop, I'm running. Right now, she wasn't taking no for an answer. It was at least going to be a double, and, with a little bit of, the fielding got a little funny there. She drives it all the way home, and St. John is able to win this one in their first win of the year, 8-1, as they're getting a hot start, and it's going to be behind some freshmen that are going to make a big difference this year. They're bringing in some speed with Jayla Holloway and Katie Carney. They've got the leadership through Riley Beatman. She's the catcher, and she did a phenomenal job yesterday too, also doing well at the plate. There's a lot of young ladies that really did some big time work. Alyssa Severa is so good that it's starting to just be expected of her. So like it doesn't stick out anymore, but she just plays so well. You just expect her to be great and everything. And she always is. It's just, it's really fun to get to watch these girls. And then over on the Lakeside side, Lakeside has, it was a tough game for them, but they have some girls that really, really played well, including Ireland Noble, who had a big RBI hit. Addie Torino, who was the pitcher, and doesn't give up the runs until later in the game, and they actually make a pitching change where a couple runs actually score after that. But Addie Torino does a phenomenal job in the circle for them yesterday. Jules Lavender behind as the catcher. Everybody out there doing a great job. Lakeside's they're on the way up as well. This is a program. They're young. They've got some freshmen that are going to be playing big time innings for them this year. Torino, I believe last year was a catcher most of the time. So they've got some more freshmen that are going to come in and do some pitching for them. So, the outlook for Lakeside is still very much up. But yesterday was the day of the Heralds. They're able to get the win in that one, and it was just so much fun. And thank you to the Lakeside facility for helping us. Yesterday we had on Monday we were supposed to go over there and cover baseball, but the internet got kind of sketchy, so we got that all figured out. So we'll be able to provide that Dragons coverage, throughout the rest of the year. And I'm just very thankful for everything they do. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's rare, 12 Ks, and to be a freshman and make that be your first exposure to high school was nothing short of amazing. I think we're going to be talking about Isabel Haller for years to come. She's a great athlete, not just in softball either. The girl's just good in sports. She's a true blue athlete, and she's a hard worker. I'm really, really looking forward to watching her. But yeah, those were the games that happened yesterday. Now today, on tap for myself is Lordstown and St. John. Lordstown and St. John, that's going to be happening right over there at Smithfield. This is all very much dependent on the weather. I'll tell you what, I've never been more mad at a meteorologist than I have this spring, because now there is rain in the forecast. I'm hoping that they're not right. I'm hoping that that's not going to be the case, because I'm really looking forward to covering some more baseball. But even if we're not covering up here, even if there's nothing going on up here because of the weather, you can always tune into YSN, because there's going to be a lot of baseball and softball going on the network. Like I talked about earlier in the show, there is the Holy War, Ursuline versus Mooney. Huge programs, absolutely huge programs. I know another game going on tomorrow, baseball-wise, but that's going to be dependent on today as well. So let's see what happens today. What it's looking like right now, St. John boys baseball taking on Lordstown. Lordstown, I believe, is another one of those NAC opponents. Can St. John recover? And, it was a tough loss yesterday. That Geneva team's very good, very, very good. And, again, hopefully they sign with us, because I would really love to just kind of put the shine on that program that it deserves. And it deserves a lot of shine right now. Unfortunately, we can't really go into them because we can't cover them. So hopefully that changes. But coming up tonight, St. John versus Lordstown, weather pending. And that's going to be our show today. I want to thank everybody for joining, everybody for commenting. I appreciate all of your participation. We'll be back here again tomorrow, folks, right around 8 o'clock. This is Sam Torres for the 440 Sports Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.
This for the football. This for the football. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them goats. All from the football. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.